What up, what up, what up, y'all? It's your man, Stephen Bardo, coming at you with another pregame sauce. We got a great one tonight. Would be a great one if Iowa Sumu was healthy, but he's not playing. So still going to be a great matchup between the top two teams in the Big Ten Conference tonight on ESPN. Let me pull the game up here. Illinois at Michigan at 6 p.m. Central Time. So in about 15 minutes or so, they'll start the coverage on ESPN. Zoomer Sports. You see the difference, huh? P Flum Brian, good to see you. Illini board. Zoomer Sports, E Wells 678. I am Hagel. I am Hagel. Apron Guru. SPG Go Blue. What's up, SPG Go Blue? That's a Michigan fan. Glad to have you on here. So tonight's game, Illinois at Michigan. Spice Adams, what's up, Spice? How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Big Daddy Bates, what's happening? Kenny Williams, what's going on? Go Blue. Okay, there you go. So here's the deal. Here's the game tonight. Key player for Michigan is Mike Smith. Now, some of you may be scratching your head thinking, like, why would he say Mike Smith? Like, why? I don't understand. Well, the only time that Michigan has lost in conference play, they had 20 turnovers at Minnesota. That's one. Eli Brooks was out. He did not play. That's two. And what was the other thing that you? And Michael Smith didn't score, and they had 20 turnovers. I don't think you're going to see Michigan with 20 turnovers again. So Mike Smith runs the ship. He runs the show. He's an excellent scorer from the point guard position. I think some in the Big Ten. I noticed they go underneath him on the ball screen action. You cannot go underneath on Mike Smith. He will bang the three all day long. Okay? So Mike Smith, the key player for Michigan tonight. The keys for Michigan are for Michigan to control the glass. Because if they can control the rebounding effort on both ends of the floor, they keep the Illini out of transition. And I think if you keep the Illini out of transition and you make them play half court, that plays into Michigan's hands. Michigan, according to Ken Palm, is the number 4 defensive team in the country. They're number 5 on the offense. So this is a juggernaut. This is a complete team. Michigan doesn't have any weaknesses, right? The only thing that, it's rare that you'll hear me say this, but Michigan has to be off in order for them to lose in the Big Ten game, in my opinion. I think that they have to be off, and you have to play one of your best games of the year for a chance to win. They're that good. You don't see teams that are both in the top 5. Michigan's 5 in offense, 4 in defense. There's only maybe 1 or 2 other teams. I know Gonzaga does not have that defensive prowess. Baylor is close, but that's about it in terms of dominance at that level. So if Michigan can control the glass, that's really going to bode well for them. For the Illini, the key player, in my opinion, is Andre Corbello, because I am Hagel. Michigan is just weak. No, you're not. Your fandom is coming through, not your basketball knowledge there, I am Hagel. Michigan's not weak. Michigan may be the best team in the country. Seriously, they may be the best team in the country. So they're not weak. The key player for Illinois is Andre Corbello. Why do I say that? Iowa Sumu is not playing, and so you need somebody with an elite defensive team. You got to have somebody to break you off the bounce. Young fella, go get me a bucket. And Andre Corbello can create a little bit better than the rest of his teammates with the rock. Io can go get his own shot. Andre can go get his own shot. So a lot of times in offense, things are going to be bogged down because Michigan's so good at taking you out of what you're trying to do. And so a player like Andre Corbello, he may have to get the rock and go create, go make something happen. Now, the problem with this is Andre Corbello gets too deep a lot of times on his penetration, and he gets silly turnovers where he'll have that mindset that he had in high school. He'll get in the paint, he'll get bumped, he'll get stripped, he'll get hit, and he's looking at the officials, and the other team is going the other way. So, you have to live, you have to ride and die with the freshman, because he's probably got the most upside outside of Kofi and Io on Illinois' team. So he's the key player for the Illini, and the keys for the Illini tonight, they have to run like their life depends on it. This is going to be the case until Io comes back. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't spoken with anybody officially from the University of Illinois. In my opinion, Io doesn't need to come back until the NCAA tournament, not even the Big Ten Conference tournament. Maybe they bring him in for the Big Ten Conference tournament to get his sea legs up under him a little bit. I don't know. He's got multiple injuries up here. We don't know exactly what it is. I'm guessing he's got a broken nose and a broken facial bone or a broken eye socket bone. But he's got a couple of different things going on. I think the Illini are going to be they're going to be patient with him, because even as I look at the standings, even if Illinois were to win tonight and Michigan were to lose both games at Michigan State, which I don't see them losing to Michigan State twice. I don't see Michigan losing much at all anymore the rest of the season. So Illinois let me stick to this. Illinois has got to run like their life depends on it. They've got to dominate the glass. So I said Michigan's key is to control the glass, because Michigan's defense is going to be there. Their offense is stellar, but sometimes, like at Minnesota in their only loss, they had an off day. Now, are they due for an off game? Possibly, but I don't think it's going to happen against the Illini tonight. I like Michigan in this one. And I think that Illinois is going to have a career game from somebody, and Michigan's going to have something very unusual to happen. I think Michigan is that good. I really do. They're so deep. They're so balanced. They've got size. They've got scoring. They can shoot the basketball. They are 11th in the country from three-point line. And they're second in the country in two-point defense. That means that you're not getting layups against Michigan. Now, here's the thing that I'm curious about. The big man matchup is going to be interesting, because there's very few people that are as big as Hunter Dickinson. But Liam Robbins from Minnesota has had pretty good games against him. Miles Johnson got into a little bit of foul trouble in the second half, but he held his own against Hunter. Kofi Cockburn is as big, tall, meaning he's as tall, maybe an inch shorter, but he's much wider and stronger. It's going to be interesting to see how Hunter does against Kofi up front. But here's the difference. If he doesn't do well, they've got Brandon Johns Jr. that comes off the bench. Austin Davis, who's been fantastic this year. Austin Davis is, in my opinion, the top 10 big men in the league. And he's a backup. Austin Davis has been that good. So I just think there's no weaknesses on this Michigan team. Something's unusual has to happen, and somebody from Illinois has to have a career day in order for Illinois to win this game. All right, let me get to the questions. I want to get my stuff out up front. Dana Taft, what's good? Spice, who you think is going to win tonight, Spice, if you're still on? Kenny Williams, what's happening? Let's see. What's the final score? Ooh, I like Michigan by double figures. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 75-65, something like that. Michigan's dominant, ladies and gentlemen, and the Illini are good. They're really good. Illini are dominant when Iowa is playing. But when you take one of the best players, and to me, the Big Ten player of the year so far, you take him off the court, it's going to affect the way your team looks. Desmond 72, what's happening? Vintage 35. Yeah, that is our. I've got my real jersey, my actual jersey, but it's somewhere in stores. I couldn't find it quickly enough. And when I ordered these shirts, ladies and gentlemen, you know the 3 that they left out? They were supposed to get here today. I got all these different shirts. Illinois, Iowa, and Michigan. 3 of the top teams in the Big Ten did not show up today. I'm hot about that, because I need to have Michigan right in here, right? Iowa needs to be right in here. Iowa's one of the top teams. So during March Madness, Big Ten-centric coverage right here on Bardo's Breakdown. So I'll be going in depth on all the Big Ten teams and their particular games. And so if you want to be a part of the inner circle, join Bardo's Breakdown. Go to Bardo's Breakdown group on Facebook, answer 3 simple questions. Now, I've had people go there. They did not answer the questions. You can't get in, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't answer the questions, I'm not going to let you in compared to the people that have answered the questions that are involved and active. If you can't answer questions, you just don't need to be a part of the group. So go to Bardo's Breakdown group, answer 3 simple questions. You're in, or you can text me to 312-847-2739. I've got a community on there as well. You text me, send me your email address, you're in. That's it. And you can get this behind the scenes coverage and a lot of different March Madness things. A lot of surprises are going to have for you guys throughout March Madness. Hopefully that a Big Ten team can cut the nets down in Indianapolis to break the 21-year spell. All right. Let me get to my tribe here because I've kind of neglected them. Sorry, y'all. Let me get you all up here and answer your questions. That pregame sauce. Yes, sir. Think for Yourself Boxing. Mr. Bardo, what's up? I don't know who Think for Yourself Boxing is. If this is your first time, thank you for joining. Glad you're on. Bob Watson, what's good? Go Illini. Samsonite 1. Oh, no. Hey, thanks for joining Samsonite 1. I love doing this because you guys, I want to give you something to think about while you watch the game so that you can be more informed. And then if you keep coming back and you get this value, then you'll have a lot more value to offer in your conversations or when you're watching games, as opposed to just being a fan, which is fine. But I want to give you guys something to consider while you're watching the games. And then you can kind of compare. You can watch the battle of the glass. And if Illinois is doing better on the glass, that means that they're able to run their fast break. That means they're able to play better. If Michigan controls the glass, that means that Illinois can't necessarily get into their fast break situation, and that favors Michigan. So those are keys. I like to give you guys keys for these games, and you're going to love the March Madness coverage. I'm telling you, because you're going to look like a pro. And for the inner group, I'm giving them my picks for free. Everybody else I'm charging straight up. So if you want to be a part of the inner group, jump in. What's up, Kevin White, one of the tribe members? Good to see you. Let me see. David Lagor. Yes, y'all. Who got the vibe? It's tribe, y'all. We live, y'all. Inside, outside, come around. Who's that? Brown. That's right, David. You know what time it is. Tribe all day, baby. Richie Drennan. The Illini can definitely win the game. I just don't think they're going to. That's just my opinion. I've seen Michigan in so many different games this year. They're not going to not be ready to play against the second best team in the Big Ten Conference. As stellar and as consistent as Michigan has been all season, I don't see it happening. Now, obviously, the Illini can win, and I would be pleasantly surprised. I would be happy for the Illini, but again, this is just my opinion. Carol Poquette, tribe member. I'm wondering if we're going to do the pregame sauce tonight. You know it. Steve King, what's happening? Thank you, Steve. I'm glad you're on here, man. Thanks for jumping on and supporting the show. Rick Blankenship, INI. Good to see you, Rick. Thanks for jumping on. Do you know who is calling the game tonight? Probably Dockich and Benetti, I would assume. Not certain, but I'm thinking that. Haven Mosley, timely free throw shooting beat Wisconsin. Yeah, Haven, but Illinois had the game in the pocket and they couldn't inbound the freaking ball. They could have beat Wisconsin by double figures. I Am Hagen says no players on Michigan. Come on, I Am Hagel. No players on Michigan. Franz Wagner is a pro. Isaiah Livers is a pro. Shawnee Brown Jr. is going to get a good look. Hunter Dickinson is a pro. Brandon Johns Jr., if he continues to progress, he's going to get a serious look. That's 5 pros. I don't know what team you're looking at, I Am Hagel. Maybe you're being too caught up in the fandom, but Michigan is a beast. Michigan has got dudes, man. Roll Katie, good to see you. Is Io playing? Io warmed up. I don't know. I don't think so. I didn't hear anything. it would be a shock to me. I wouldn't do it. For what? Here's the thing. Illinois can see Michigan if they handle their business in the Big Ten Conference Tournament Championship. Then if you want to play Io in that game, play Io. But if he's warming up and he wants to play, I wouldn't suggest it because the game doesn't mean as much to me. But this is Io's last go around. He's not coming back. He's going to put his name in the draft. Tate Hedge, what's up, Tate? Ad Moore, good to see you. He said Michigan is just weak. So I know your heart says Illinois, but what does your head say for tonight? Kenny Williams, Jordan Ash, Northwestern great. My youngin, what's happening? I root for my heart, not my brain, orange and blue. Okay, I am Hagel, but I am Hagel. You sound crazy. Talk about Illinois, but don't talk about Michigan when you're rooting from your heart. Don't do that because you sound ill-informed. If you're going to talk from your heart, stick with the Illini. Don't talk about Michigan because they're a juggernaut. They're a beast. They are my favorite to cut down the nets in Indianapolis. I said it. Michigan is my favorite to win the national championship over Baylor, over Gonzaga. So when I hear you say things about Michigan, don't do that because you sound crazy. Michigan is a team that plays as a team and enjoy it. You look at the bench and they are into the game. SMP, go blue. Can't agree with you more. They got something special. They got a certain oomph about them. They've got a team chemistry that's infectious when you're around them. You can't help but smile when you watch this Michigan team warm up and get ready to go. I've called one or two games at Michigan this year. And when they're warming up, they're businesslike, but they're having fun. They're smiling. They're dapping each other up. The best teams, according to Doc Rivers, touch each other the most. Fist pump, high five, hug. Watch Michigan in huddles. Watch them when they get to a huddle.